All right. I got all of my go lives posted. Let's make sure Instagram went through. And of course, Instagram is still uploading, as if Instagram would ever go through instantly. There we go. Much better. All right. That is there. And I'm going to take care of an itch real quick. And take care of some lip balm real quick. There we go. I love these EOS lip balm sticks. They're really nice. I like the little spheres too, but those are just nice. And you can like retract it kind of like a lipstick. All right, illustrated for iPad. Here we go. Okay, I wanted to do a excuse me, I'm sorry. Let's do a time-lapse replay on this one, just as I'm preparing to. You need to stop messing with my carpet. I need to trim the edge of that carpet because you've destroyed it. Thank you so much. Hey, stop. Yeah, you, stop. So this was the Procreate time-lapse of the drawing I did last week. And this was a lot of fun, a lot of green. I probably should have balanced it out with something, but you know, whatever. I thought it was fun. All right, so let's go back. Let's go into the gallery here. Let me show you, what was this one? Oh, that's a good one. I don't think I've played this one. So what I'm thinking of doing today, I was originally going to do like a floof with balloons and just kind of floating through the air, and they're kind of anchor floof following them. But then I was like, well, maybe I should try a bounce. You know, the classic, not the floof jumping and just bouncing themselves like a bouncy ball, but I was thinking a floof would jump on a mushroom and then spring off of it. Or maybe just bump, bump, spring, bump, bump, spring. That could be the main thing. And then I could do the animation around them. So, well, not the animation, the background around them. I feel like, playing to the gallery, playing to the algorithm is more like it. But I feel like the ones where I do backgrounds, more elaborate backgrounds and have more of a scene, those do better on Instagram. And it was really weird. So last week's animation, the right here, the hug, that didn't do well on TikTok at all, and it was very weird because I published it and I got like 1 or 2 views on it. It was like the video was not approved, or like it was in review. And I got a message to that effect. Stop it! I'm gonna kick your butt out. To that effect. And so I unpublished it, republished it, and same thing. I think I've gotten like 32 views on it, whereas my comics are usually viewed very quick, the viewership comes in that very quickly. So I don't know what went wrong with this one. I thought for sure it would be popular, but oh well, it wasn't. So Bean, I'm gonna kick you out. All right, you're getting kicked out. I'm gonna be right back. I've got to kick out the cat. Stop. There we go, much better. He was literally biting my carpet, getting it stuck in her teeth, which for some reason she gets everything stuck in her teeth when she bites it, pulling it up and snapping it back. So yeah, we don't want her to do that. All right, so let's go back to the whoops. Let's go back here. Let's do a new, and we would like to do social. All right, so let's go in here. All right, that was another thing I had trouble with last week. I was coloring in all of the frames for the floof, and I was adding shading, and I didn't realize this, but and you can kind of see it actually. Let me go back. So, no, I wanted to, that one. So if you notice, you may not notice, the shading on the floof changes color, and I didn't realize that until I was like, see, it's how it's more of a neutral, and then it goes pink, and then I left it because I was like, well, he's powering up from the hug, and he's getting a little bit more rosy and pink from getting a hug. So I think it makes sense if I rationalize it that way, but yeah, you can see it, especially when he's hugging. It happened right there. It was just a slight warming of that gray, not even a slight warming of the gray. It was pink, and so I was like, ugh. But I didn't mind it. I don't know. I liked it. But yeah, so for whatever reason, I think maybe I had some color picking problems, or not color picking, because I was using, come on now, I was using the palette and the previous colors, so maybe what happened was, because it was really almost hard for me to see. Like if I go here, see all these, and you know, it's a very, and the other gray isn't even on here anymore. And so it just was very, I think my other gray was more like over here somewhere. So I wish, and you can see that change is just very, very, it's not very subtle, but how it happened over time was just a couple, like 3 or 4 steps between these two colors in the upper right. So whatever. I'm going to try to keep it consistent today, and also, well, the way I'm doing this, you might not have that. I might not have that problem because I might not need to color in stuff, because it's just going to be the floof jumping on the mushroom. So, let's choose our color. And let's make sure my line art brush is good. And now I'm gonna drag that out. And what I'm gonna do now is just the rough sketch. And I like how I did that last time. I did the rough sketch of the area and kind of the action I wanted to have happen. And then I extended it for the full length of the animation. And I also mapped out the major keyframes. And there is a I've done this once before. I did it for one of my Jiffy GIFs, and that was where Momochi is flying in from the side. She bounces on a cupcake and then flies out. It's like she uses the cupcake as a trampoline. And I love the snappy, cute bounce of the cupcake that I made, and I can't remember how I did it. I think what it was I almost want to open up that file and see, because I did map out the frames on it. But I don't know if I want them. I can't have the mushroom to be that bouncy. All right, let's just start drawing here and get going that way. All right, so what I want to have is I'm basically going to have a big and the floof is going to be bouncing, and then he's going to do a big bounce, and so maybe the mushroom is going to squish and then boing. Oh, this is going to be difficult, but that's okay. That's okay. And then I'll have like some little, really, Bean? I kicked you out because you were being not a good bean. Are you going to be a good bean this time? Oh, you're taking my chair. Is that how it's going to be? Oh, you want to squish. Okay, I agree. I will acquiesce to your request. You can squish. All right, that'll be good because she usually chills out and isn't a brat when I let her squish. She's happy squishing. You can't see her, but she's right here. Oh, nope, she's gone now. Your heating mat is all ready for you. All right, she's happy now. She's on her heating pad. All right, so I'm going to have background stuff, that, and maybe a couple little mushrooms here. So this will be, all right, how do I want to, I really want to look at that. You know what I want to look at? Let me, because I know I did that animation with the cupcake directly after reading a chapter in my animation book. Again. And see if I can remember what I was doing and looking at when I made that. So this is, I have to put it up here. This is the book that I'm referring to, and I didn't make a lot of notes in that one, but I did read every single page of it. So let me see if I can. Definitely not the page I was looking for. Trying to figure out what that page was. I don't have, these are all walk cycles right now. And I seem to remember I think it was something to do with this part right here. It was the jump scene, of course, but keep contact, jump, jump, contact down. Lean into the bodies. There's a golden mean animation maximum. When you think you've gone far enough, go twice as far. If it's too far, you can always pull it back later. Cartoon like jump like this works. Arm action is good, legs are okay, but let's delay one of the legs. Right. Okay, I think that's what I was doing. So, up, down, scrunch. I think also what I was looking at is squash and stretch, like especially in expressions. Fine leaf will linger in the air currents, will affect its fall as being resisted by the air. I remember that. Weight, that was an important one. Let's see that. Go back over here. Okay, I think I got it now. I think I've got it now. I'm gonna leave it open on that page and see if I can't figure how to do this out. I'm quickly figuring out that this is going to be a lot more involved than I thought it would be. All right, well, let's just dive in and do it. Let's figure this out. We're going to go into our layer. I didn't need that new layer, by the way. Let's undo that. This is going to be, I'm just going to extend it out as much as I can. I think 4 seconds will be let's take it up to 6. Yeah. Duh. I need to hit play. Alright, so that's the idea. Maybe I'll go ahead and do the foreground. I'm gonna I have to keep the mushroom separate because the mushroom is gonna bounce and move. So, oh, that's gonna be difficult. Alright, well, let's just add the track and let me go ahead and draw that piece, and that'll be, I'm gonna have to be very careful how I draw this to make it, I'm gonna have to be very judicious with my detail because I'm gonna have to move everything, so I can't go crazy on it. Alright. Probably going to regret that detail. And I'm probably going to regret this one as well. Let's just leave it like it is. And I'll put detail everywhere else. Alright. Now that I know where my base is, I'm going to come in here and we're going to do another track. And I'm going to draw the foreground elements, and I can be elaborate and pretty with these because they are not going to move. I'm quickly determining that I should have gone with the floating balloon. But that's okay. I can always do that next week. I can add detail to this. I'm gonna wait to add background stuff because I know that this top mushroom cap has to kind of bounce and react to the floof bouncing on it. So I'm gonna wait to add those details, but I know down here is pretty safe, so. All right, so what I'm doing here again is I'm just drawing in the background. I'm working with my my regular line art tool to add detail, and just to make this whole scene a little bit more interesting. And a lot over there. That's a lot of detail, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just trying to make it look interesting here. More like a colored in finished comic frame, perhaps. Detail is going to be in there, and maybe I'll add a few more in here. I'm going to risk it for biscuit and say this is a safe little spot to do a little color in. So this will be about like that, and I am not happy with this. How much is colored in over here? I might have to maybe erase this bit down here with all these little mini mushrooms. I feel like I need a lot more contrast down here. Maybe I could just fill in this side. Threatening my little mini mushrooms over here, but that's okay. I want more detail on the mushroom. Bet. Could fill that in with a little bit of gray under here. All right, let's go with that for now. And now I'm gonna need to extend this all the way out. So what I need to do here again is I'm going to do another rough draft frame, I think, and get the bounce of the major bounce. So I think what I'm going to need to try and do is how do we start this? How do we... Am I making a mistake by making these both separate? Maybe I should just try and map it out. Let's just do what I did before and just try and map it out. And I think what I'll have to do is, again, I think I'll have to draw them together, actually. Whatever, let's do it. Let's figure it out. So in my okay, so we should have anything to bug you, my dear. To see that jumper. Where is he? Very good. More like a frolic. It's a snake. Is my jump all the way at the beginning? Aaron, welcome to the stream. Happy Tuesday to you too. I am trying to find the darn reference that I had before. Standing. I know it's in here. I need a page for a standing jump. Here it is. I'm going to use my little... There we go. That's what I want. So, stand, down, contact, up, down, contact. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I've got two objects that are going to be interacting with each other. So the floof is going to be jumping on this mushroom. The mushroom is going to be also bouncing and reacting, as it's not a hard surface, it's a bouncy surface. So at rest, and whoops, I didn't need to do that. So I'm trying just to get the idea out here. God. We're going to do a squish. And then again, this is just rough sketch. I'm just trying to get this up. This main shape. And then we're back. Okay, so, oh shoot. So how is the mushroom going to react to this? I feel like the mushroom is going to, on this, we're pushing down. He's already pushed down, so maybe the mushroom is more like this. And then it, when he's up here, it goes down. And then when he comes back into contact with it, it's back where it was. Or maybe it's snapped up a little bit. Let's snap it up a little bit. Let's snap it up. And so when he's coming back down, I have the contact position again, and then the squish, and then the contact position. And then he's landing, so the force is going down and pushing down on the top of the mushroom again. So I've got kind of like this deal again. And since the force is going down, or maybe the whiskers will not, the whiskers are light, so the whiskers are going to stay up. I feel like the force of this is going to go down again. And then back up to normal. I can barely see the first one. Ooh, happy Tuesday, Dee. Welcome to the stream. We're doing a bounce today, a bounce on a mushroom. So I've got two pieces interacting with each other. The mushroom is going to be bouncy and the floop is going to be bouncy. And I was originally going to have him do more of a, ooh, what is this? It's kind of bouncy, and then start actually bouncing, but I'm quickly determining that that is too ambitious. So I'm just going to focus on a bounce. Like, getting that done will be good. So now that I have this frame, I need to go back to resting position, which I think is about right here. Again, this is just sketch. And I need to get my standard mushroom, all that. And I'm going to rely on that background. I know I did something like that. All right, so let's risk it for the biscuit and see what I did. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't even know how I did that. All right, I'm going to come here and let's just play this section. Yeah, that, okay. Okay. This mushroom clearly is not right. And it's definitely, I messed up here. Did not do that right. First of all, he needs to be higher. He needs to be way higher. So I don't think the down, up, I don't think that is nearly as good as it should be. He needs to be more squished. And then still in contact and up, he needs to be up higher. Okay, all right, well, we know what we need to do. And I definitely need to get rid of that nonsense, so let's... And I was totally wrong about the squish of the stem of the mushroom. That doesn't look good at all. So we gotta fix that. If I have him have a maybe like a almost like a what is it, a smear frame? He's going up, so the force of his whiskers is you need to be a lot more, you need to be more squish. We need to make you a lot more squish. Is it too much? That's what he just said. You ever think it's too much? So he's going down at this point. Let's finish this one off. Give him some little peats. That's why I couldn't see this, because I didn't actually finish it. This actually looked decent, even though this isn't the final. I wish I could select this and just move it, but I need to, you know what, I'm not gonna, I can, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase this entire mushroom. So what I'm gonna do here is we're going to edit. I want this, give this. I want to move you up, way up. And now I'm going to go in and draw, and I'm going to erase this whole mushroom and do it again because it doesn't need to look like this. And I just need to redo it. All right, let's try this again. Maybe the key is going to be one at a time. All right, so now we've got the landing. Let's see how that looks, see if I fixed it at all. Okay, that's good, that's good. That little bloop, 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 right there with the showing the... Okay, I got it. I'm fixing it. I'm figuring it out here. So what I need to do is I need to rest, squish, up, up. I need to do a better this, but that's almost the same as this. That's okay, that's a good up. And then this I need to, because I feel like the force of him landing is good. That's going to make the stem squish a little bit. Right? Right? That's going to make the stem squish a little bit. And then he's going to be at rest again. So maybe there's a little pop where he like goes from squish to up above resting a little bit, and then okay, we're going to add a frame. So on this one I'm bringing him back to resting, but I'm going to pop him up a little so he settles down into the rest. Instead of just going to squish to rest, he's gonna stretch up and settle. So my settle is right here, this yellow line. So I need to go somewhere in between this yellow line and everything's pulling down. Everything is pulling down. He's way bigger. Squish, up, settle. This isn't right, but I want to see what it looks like on the play. Almost. He's not squished enough. He's not squashed enough. He needs more squash. See that? That's not enough squash. This is way not enough squash because he's landing with force. Okay, I want to play it again. Okay, so one thing I can point out good here, because it's always good to point out something positive, I like the bounce of his whiskers. I think the guy got the directionality of that right. If you're looking, watch how they're going up and down and kind of flopping. I think I got the directions right. Okay, so let's think about this mushroom. I think one of the problems is right here. This needs more squish. This needs more flattening of the mushroom for the weight and the impact. I think this is okay for going from this to this. Well, no, because it needs to be more exaggerated here. So this needs to look just really wacky. I wonder. Let's just, can I squish you? Nope. I just want to squish you vertically. And let's bring you down a little more. What if we bring you down like all the way like that? And this needs to be, so this needs to be taller, and then this needs to come down a smidge, I think. Up. Okay, I'm going to do this one too. Let's go into draw mode, and I'm going to come over here, and I want to exaggerate these edges of the mushroom more. I'm gonna have it like that because he's squishing out. And I want this even more. Let's see how that looks. I'm not going to erase those other lines. I just want to see how this looks being even more exaggerated. All right, so I think something else. So we have the squish. I need this to be taller. Before we settle. Normal. Right, let's go back over here. Let's see. I want to see what this looks like all squished out. Let's see if that works well. And then I'm gonna, whoops. Since this is all squishing down, I'm gonna change. So this curve was always up, and I think it'll look right to curve it down like the mushroom is getting squished and then popping back up and having that opposite angle. All right, let's see. So if I do this, that was great. I need smile here. Oh, evil floof. Evil floof. And number 20 is felt but hardly seen. And scrunch. Okay, alright, so here, stand, squunch, up. Okay, I think I need to add another one. And I need to edit this one. So what I'm trying to do here is get these rough frames figured out, and then I'll go in and I'll do the final deal. So this is gonna be that, because I want it between okay, and down. He's up, and he's up, and he's back down. I think this one actually should have space again between, like this one, space between the mush and the floof, and then touch, squish, up, rest. Now, one thing I want to try, squish. We're going to try He's coming up. Thank you, Kyoko. I'm learning. I'm trying to make it work. This is what I'm doing right now. Let me hit done. So I've got the background element, which you can see, well, technically foreground. I've drawn that out. It's all nice and finished and okay, because that's not applicable here right now. I'm not going to be moving anything. At the end, I might add in some far background elements and maybe some little particulates going everywhere when the floof bounces down. But for right now, that's done. And what I'm working on right now is just getting the floof and the mushroom motion right. And I've got my book out here, and I'm trying to figure out how to get that right little bounce and movement. So what I did now is I just added, I've got at rest, then I've got the extreme of him squishing down, and then I have another one where he's still in contact, but the momentum is going up, so he's stretched. And then here we have a stretch, and then up at the top of the jump. And then this one I need to edit to be just about like this one, or just where he's touching and landing, and then squish, and then a little bit of a bounce up beyond the rest, and then he's going to settle back to normal. So that's what I'm trying to map out here, because I want the how much time it takes to animate a single frame of video. Well, I mean, so I think a more accurate would be like maybe a single second. And that depends. Well, okay, so a single frame, you're looking at, let's just go for what I'm doing right here. I'm not going to color in anything. I'm just doing pure line art here. So it's about the time it would take me to draw all these elements, and, you know, adding up what I've done here. This is going to be only 1 second, and I've got 1, 2, 6, I've got 9 frames in this 1 second. That's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? Wait a minute here. It is 8 frames per second, but why do I have 9 on the stage? If it's 8 frames per second and it's 1 second. I guess they're adding the 1 for 0, but okay, I don't know, whatever. So a second of footage, depending, like if you're looking at anime, typically those are like 12 frames. They're a little bit less fluid than, say, Disney, which I think is around 24. So those gosh, I remember there was one Miyazaki movie where they were animating it was a crowd scene. I forget which movie it was, but that 5 seconds worth of animation, every single person in the crowd scene was animated on their own. It took them, like, I want to say it was a year or more to do those 5 seconds, but that's an extreme example of a finished movie. This, it would be, what, I've been working on this for about an hour and a half. So, I mean, it really depends on how detailed your frame is. If you're looking at something like a Jiffy GIF, that'll be a lot easier and a lot quicker because, again, depending on if you're coloring it in, if you're adding a lot of other details, it really kind of depends on how fast you personally are as an illustrator. But I heard somewhere that a video 4 seconds took almost 3 years to make. Yeah, I think we're talking about, was it fully analog? I thought they used some digital. I wish I knew which movie that was, because they started using, I remember Miyazaki kind of was not initially on board with digital and using any 3D animation in their movies, but I know that I believe they used at least some. And for some reason, I'm bringing up the scene at the beginning of Mononoke where the blob creature is running across the meadow. I know they used some of it to rig up Howl's moving castle. But I think I've got the art book right over here. I can't quite remember. Oh, thank you, Kyoko. I thank you so much for your kind words. I wish I could remember what that movie was. Darn it! It was one that I don't watch that often. It wasn't Earthsea. It was something else, like Whisper of the Heart. Not Whisper of the Heart. The other one. On Poppy Hill? No, not on Poppy Hill. One of those. But yeah, so I've got and I left one. Oh, I forgot my stem here. Let's go in here and let's make my stem. So maybe here, because he's pushing down, his force is being directed down and he's pushing up. So maybe my stem here is going to be just a little bit poofy because we've got the force of him jumping down and that is him moving up. So I've got a little bit of force going down. So maybe that will add a little something. All right, let's see. Let's look at this again. I think I got it right on his whiskers because I'm looking at them flopping up and down. I think I missed a frame without whiskers, so let's go through this. And the whiskers are thin there, but I have whiskies there, and whiskies here. I did not miss a whisker. It's just thin up here. Okay. So after I get all of these, the basics down in the rough sketch, I'll go through and do a final line art. Let me actually show you an example of a finished one that I've done. So this one was a good one. And what I did after this, so I wanted to get a loop that was about 12 seconds long, 12 to 15, 16 seconds. So this is actually about a 4-second animation here. And then I grouped you can kind of see it here. Let's drop this down so you can see the elements here. I grouped these all and then I duplicated the group out so I could get my 12 seconds of video that I could send or set rather to audio as I posted it. And so you can see like the layers here. I've got the leafy bits kind of flying around. Those I did last. And then my major thing was, of course, I did the foreground first and then I animated the floof and then bloop, and then he jumps and lands. And so that's the one I did a couple weeks ago. This was last week. And again, a final, oops, there we go. So you can see here the layers of stuff in here. Ah, why aren't you? Oh, there we go. I've got my floof coming in. He's going up to the screen, giving you a hug, and then he's skedaddling. And then I just duplicated that group after I had everything. I grouped it all, duplicated it, and then got it out to about 12 seconds. And this one was frustrating. I was trying to do kind of like a bongo cat. And I colored it in, and then it took me forever to figure out how to export it, because Procreate Dreams, at least right now, until they have their update coming very soon, I hope, has no way to export transparent GIFs and directly. So you've got to, one method is you could save out the MP4 or whatever it is and then convert it to a GIF that way, or you can save PNG files separately, frames as PNGs, and then assemble those PNGs in another program, like taking it over to Procreate regular and using that animation timeline. It's kind of clunky. And this is another one where I had him chasing a butterfly. And this one I was practicing a walk cycle. I just wanted to get the floof walking. Oh shoot, I missed some chat. Actually, it was just people moving. It was their expressions that took the time. Oh, okay. Fluffy Pokemon. I actually work for my own company, and I also do freelance. So yeah, a little bit of both. I have some freelance clients that I do social media, graphic design, and actually comic development work for. And then I have what's within reach. So I do comic posts every Tuesday and Friday, and I compile them every year into a compilation, and I sell these books along with plushies, character merchandise, and other stuff online, as well as conventions. I do stickers and stuff like that. So that's what all of this is for. This is for advancing the goal of animating the characters and the world I've made. Whoops, there we go. Catherine, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I am working on, let me just zoom in here and show you the progress. Doesn't feel like a lot of progress, but it's kind of, I want to figure this out before I go in and actually line things. So I'm getting my floof to jump. What did I do? Oh my goodness. What did I do? Why is it only showing like half of the... Oh, there we go. Good grief. Okay. I managed to erase something, and I wasn't intending on erasing anything, but yay, we did it. Oh, thank you, Catherine. This is actually a dress. It's a dress I had for years, and I can fit into it now. So small wins, right? But I think it's a BCBG. I got it at Nordy Rack. Okay, let's see here. Rest. He doesn't look at rest. I need to fix this. Well, this is just a sketch, so no, I don't need to fix this. I just need to get everything figured out. He's not long enough, I don't think. And I think this frame could use... So the bottom of the mushroom is squishing a bit, I think this could stand to squish. Let's make this. Now I don't want to make it squish that much. Let's just make it squish a little bit. Let's just give him a little squish. Because he's pushing down, so this whole thing is going to squish. And it'll be so much easier for me to just do good line art over the top of this and drop these frames down once I get them figured out. So the sides are squishing out and it's flattening, probably not as flat as it should be. Maybe I could stand to squish this a little bit more. Maybe this. Let's back up and see. Let's back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. I think it's a little bit more bouncy because we have the greater force of them actually landing, because that's going to push out those edges. Yeah, I know. Summer dresses, sundresses. They're my favorite. This is my at-rest frame. I found one I really like. Uniqlo has it's a linen blend, but it doesn't, linen typically, like, crinkles and, gets wrinkly, but this is a little bit of, I'm not sure what it is. It might be rayon or viscose or something, but it doesn't seem to, it's really soft and airy, and they have a couple of different things that they cut from this fabric. They've got a strappy sundress that has kind of an empire waist and some ruching and pockets. And I love that one. I got it in a like a stripy green. They also have a stripy blue and then solid colors. But that one's like my new favorite one right now because it's just so nice and light and comfy. Yeah, pockets are like, please. Why did it take so long for you guys to figure out pockets? And another thing about that one specifically, they kind of have their pockets are, because sometimes like pockets in dresses are just very minimal, of course, but these are kind of, they feel heavy duty. They almost feel double layered, and I don't worry putting my phone in my pocket, because sometimes I have ones that I'm like, this is risky. It's really kind of only good to hide your hands or put some Kleenex or something, but those I can actually put my phone in and no problem. And they feel just kind of more reinforced or something. But yeah, those are at Uniqlo and they're really, really nice. And they had another one that was more like it was a shirt dress, but it really, it was a hard no for me. There was something about the cut of it that just, I don't know. It wasn't like a nun, but it just, yeah. It's like, no, this is for not me. But it's lovely, but it's not for me. What did I do? I did something. I need to stop messing things up. Let's do this without the drawing, because actually the drawing of the mushroom might have to be redrawn. I think that looks better not having the other one in there. Looking at it over here, I've got a screen here, and a screen here. I kind of want to add another one in here. I want to add an even more extreme squish. Because I feel like this needs more than just the tiny bit that it got. I could, let me just... I'm going to double this frame just to experiment and see how it looks as a double, and see if that gives me a little bit more of that. Let's go over here. Yeah. Okay. Let's undo our mess. And let's here. I'm going to try it. I'm going to add another, which is more squish. And let's see how it goes. So, even more squish. So, let's see. Let's make this like super squish. Maybe not super squish. Like, maybe not super duper squish, but like... So I want to start with this. We're going to whoop. And we're going to whoop. Maybe bring them down just a little. And we're going to whoop. Whoops. And we're gonna whoop. I think this needs to be lower. All right, we're gonna erase this. We're gonna He's so flat. Actually, streams make me want to try my... Oh! I'm so happy they do. I'm glad you like them, Catherine. I'm going to leave these up. I kind of want him to be a little more smiley. Squish! No. Don't want to squish that much. He kind of is squished that much. Maybe I should change. He's happy. Squish. Boo. Let's change these eyes. And let's give this guy a little more of an ear. There we go. Pew. Now. So, all right, let's go out and see if I totally botched it or if it looks good. Hopefully it looks good. Ooh, I kind of like that. Whoop, whoop. I've got a little bit of a depress and then a up, and then when the force of his landing is there, whoop, we go back to. I like that. That extra frame where it went out just to a little bit more was, I think, what it needed. We look at that. Let me just focus on that. Squish, squish. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is, I think I don't need this anymore. So that was my rough sketch of the entire idea. Since I have my foreground done, and I have my sort of ish frames kind of mapped out here. I like that better. Whoop, whoop. I like that. If I had more frame, I could make him bounce higher, but since I only have so much, it's almost like a little half bounce here. All right, okay, I think I'm cool with this. Now what I'm gonna do is go in here and I'm going to put all of these frames at, yeah, probably about 30%, just so I can, whoops, no, I want over here. There we go, thank you. 30% done. I'll go over here. Oh, let's just do this and march through the frames that way. Here. And we're gonna go layer. And next. So I'm making this ready for me to line art. So I'm going to come over on a new track on top of all of this with the final line art. And what I'm going to do is, and this won't be on stream, I'm actually going to end stream here and get a little lunch because I have a rumbly in my tumbly and we need to fix that. So but this will be all ready to go for when I come back in to line all of these frames with the official. And the only thing is, you know, sometimes, like, especially on these two frames, I think this squish is so expressive. I want to be sure that I get those angles. So I'm almost tempted to make these frames, keep them as they are, because they're just, I like how I've done the squish, but I think I can get pretty close just going over piece by piece. I can probably keep it pretty accurate to what I've done there. Now these guys, not so much. That one is, and then we have our settle, and this one is close to the first one, so it's not so bad. It actually, that little bit of a bump and change between those two frames kind of looks like he's bouncing, like doing a little partial bounce and then the big bounce. So I will most likely keep that small difference between those two, or at least try to keep that a little bit, same. Because if I go back in here from one to the other, it's really not all that big, but that movement plays into the jump. Land, squish more, settle. There we go. Whoops, turned that frame off, didn't I? Nope. What did I do? It flashed at me. Gotta be careful, because sometimes. All right. So I may add a couple of padding frames in here. But I think this, for the most part, is what it's going to be. So I'll just have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Ooh, let's make it an even 12. So I'll add at least 2 more frames here to soften things up. And it actually might be at the top. Might just do a little push and a little, just to slow the jump down a little bit. That would be good. To have an ease in and an ease out on the top of the... Yeah, I think that'll be good. So adding those 2 frames in, but of course I'll do that after, while I'm actually lining the complete. Yeah. Because what I'll do for the mushroom is, I think what I'll do is I'll just duplicate those frames. Once I get the top of the jump, I'll just duplicate that before and after. The mushroom's going to stay the same because nothing's interacting with it for those 2 frames. Or 3 frames rather, and then I'll just edit the floof up and down. Actually, I just might need to draw one if I do that. Well, no, I'll just change the whiskers, because one, he'll be ascending and then he'll be descending, so I'll have to change the whiskers. Okay, all right. I think I'm good. I think that was a fair effort. I had a lot to figure out here, and I think I did okay. I'm definitely happy with the bounce. I like the squish. And I think adding those 2 frames to make 12 will be good. And then I will duplicate that out to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be like it's going to be a second and a half of animation. So I'm going to have to duplicate it a lot to fill up. Maybe I'll just go for 7 seconds of animation or something like that. I'll multiply it out. But yeah, I imagine it'll hit about 1.5. So that might put me right there. I like the little whoop. I think that was a good addition of frames. All right. I think I'll go and do my ending screen. Let's pause there and let's switch over. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Catherine. I like seeing the progression in frame. It's fun to see. It's fun to figure out. It's frustrating because, you know, you feel like you're treading water for a while, but that's good though. That's when good things happen. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Catherine, Dee, Sharon, my lurkers, Kunal, and who was my other? Kyoko. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back on Thursday with comics. If you want to see more animation, I'll be back at this again next Tuesday. Every Tuesdays are animation for now for the foreseeable future, as I'm trying to really learn, and eventually I'll start working on I want to do like an anime opening video. I haven't chosen the music yet, and I am incredibly ambitiously aiming at like a minute and 30 seconds, but I think that I can do some trickery, like close-ups or fly-ins, or you know, camera tricks where it's like panning or something like that I won't necessarily have to be animating, but I can just be like moving elements or background or something like that. So I have to map it out and figure out what it's going to look like and what the biggest hurdles are going to be, but that I'm going to have to start on that soon. We'll see. But Misty and take care, Sharon. You have a great rest of your day too. Thank you so much for joining. Dee, you take care too. I'm gonna go ahead and get some lunch. I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll see you next time.